Live and in color. That's right. Looks like when when my recorder comes on, my radio in my car goes off, so we don't have any music today. Damn it. Gotta love that, huh? Alright. We haven't left the shop yet. Getting ready to, though. Brought to you by Mountain Dew Kickstart. Alright, there's your plug, Mountain Dew. Yep. What's up, y'all? How is it? How's it hanging? Busy day today. You know, I really hate these. I hate these radio tests I have to do. They're a real pain in the ass. How you doing, viewer? I don't know if you're a subscriber or not, but I'm guessing if you hang out for a few minutes, I'll find out whether you're a subscriber or not. If you need a shout out, give me your name. I'll give you a shout out. No problem. Anyway, so these radios and these trucks that we do at work, we install Kenwood radios. They're a 2-meter ham radio setup for a railroad company. And I have to test the radios, and I also have to test the antennas to make sure that the standing wave is right. Well, I got one that's being a little stubborn today, so I had a meter on it. I think it blew my meter. So tomorrow I've got to bring in my good meter off my home base station, bring it in, and see if I can get it to test right. We've put a new end on the coax a couple of times, and it's not faring too well. So we're going to try it again tomorrow. We're going to put a good meter on it and see if that makes a difference. And for those of you coming in, you other four, I'm talking about Kenwood CB radios or ham radios that go in railroad trucks that we install for the company I work with or work for. We're having problems with the standard wave. The standard wave can't be really high on these things because it'll mess up the radio if you use it constantly or if you get long-winded like me. So we're going to try to take care of that tomorrow. Yep. So what's everybody up to today? It's hump day, folks. Need a shout out? Anybody want to shout out today? Don't be shy. I'll only shout at you for a second. So I'm driving my new car today. I don't know if you guys can tell that the camera's on a different side of the car. I've been driving my 2008, my super sweet 2008 Chevy Trailblazer. If you don't know what one is or know what one looks like, go look it up. It's the Chevy Trailblazer T from 2008. It's a really sweet looking truck. But anyway, so I didn't notice. I hadn't really been keeping an eye. I put the little oil tag, you know, that you get when you change your oil. I put it up in the rear view with the mirror and the mirror cabinet or the mirror container place where the mirror is. It's got a little top on it, right? So I don't look at the oil sticker as much as I guess I should. Well, I looked at it yesterday and was looking at the mileage, and I'm about 1,500 miles overdue for an oil change. Ooh. And that's not something I want to tackle during the week. So I'm driving my new car, the one that got beat up by the hail. We had hailstorms come through a couple of weeks ago. One on a Friday and one on Monday. The one on Friday wasn't so bad, but the one on Monday beat my poor car to death. Brand new car. It's got 4,932 miles on it. It's beat to death. The hail just pounded it, but I got some insurance people coming to look at it. So anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, my oil needs to be changed in my Trailblazer, so that's why I'm not driving it. I'm driving this one the rest of the week, my new car. Plus, it needs a little exercise anyway. I can't really, I can see the dents from where I am, and it kind of pisses me off because this car is brand new. But, you know, old Mother Nature's got a sense of humor, and I guess I just have to deal with it. You know, us probably can't have nice things, right? So, anyway, I got 8 viewers. Hey, any of you guys want, you know, a shout out, let me know. Put your name down there. I'll shout out for you. I don't require anybody to subscribe to my page. I don't require anybody to like it. It would be nice if people would like my video, but it's not really necessary. I just enjoy doing this, and I have a good time, you know, to be able to drive and talk to people that I don't know and I don't get a response from usually. Every now and then I do have people to talk to me, but it's amazing to me, you know. I see, I flip through sometimes, like in breaks at work and things like that, and I'm really amazed that, you know, like these people that sometimes, like, they're asleep, and it's mostly like, I want to say it's like Indians, or, you know, people from India and Pakistan and places like that over there in the Middle East that I see. You know, a lot of them have the, and you'll have to excuse me because I don't know the culture, but they have the dot here, or like a stripe in the middle of their head. I'm not really sure what that's all about. I'm not going to comment on it and make a fool out of myself. I just, you know, that's the only way I know to describe these people. So I see a lot of them on, you know, early in the day, and then I guess kind of towards the evenings I see more American people and people from like the UK. I know there's like a 6-hour difference between me and the UK. Let's see. Hello, William. How you doing? That's right, ain't it? Yeah. Hey, William. Good to have you in there. I told you I'd give you a shout out. Anyway, so I don't know if you've watched me before, William. I do these short videos, usually about 30 minutes long, sometimes 45, depending on which way I decide to take the route home. There's like 2 or 3 different ways I usually go. I'm going the shortest way today. I got some things I need to take care of at home, so my video might be a little shorter today than it has been, you know, in recent past. If I can get people to drive. If people don't want to drive the speed limit, then I'm going to get there, you know, at about the same amount of time. That, you know, 35, 45 minutes, something like that. It takes me about 23 minutes to get to work in the mornings. Hello, Kyle, 03. How's it going? Zohar, you're in France? Okay, cool. France is a good place, I guess, right? Let me turn this down. I had a text message come in on my display. I drive a 2025 Chevy Equinox. Some of you, I'm sure, probably don't know what a Chevrolet Equinox is. How am I doing today, Kyle? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. How are you today? I drive a 2025 Equinox, so it's got, you know, the Bluetooth that hooks up to my phone and all that good stuff. And generally, as soon as I start my video on YouTube, it wants to cut my radio and everything off. Yeah, what part? Is it like France, or are you like from a some kind of like certain province in France? I don't know if it's, because like here in the United States we have states, you know, because it's the United States, so there's 50 states, but there's like cities in each state. Well, that's good, Kyle. Glad to hear it. Bebe Mercy. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. You guys have a totally different dialect there probably than we have here, so you'll have to bear with me. I don't know the dialects. You have to explain yourself there every once in a while. Right on. Okay, so anyway, I forgot where I was. Oh well, I'll do that every now and then. I'll start rambling on and I get distracted, so you guys just bear with me, because you know, I'm a little like scatterbrained, I guess you could say at times. You're welcome, Zohire, Zohir, Ta, Kyle. Good to have Kyle in there. So I'm not sure if you guys have subscribed to my channel or not. I don't do this like, to make money or anything. I just do this as a way to keep myself occupied as I'm going home during the day. It's really cool to be able to just like use this platform as a way to talk to people, and I do it quite a bit. You guys go back and look at some of my other videos. Like I said, I don't do this for money. I just do it for fun. Actually, I have a pretty good following, I guess. I've got like 519 or 520 people watch me, and or are subscribed anyway. I don't know if they actually watch me. I think my average video views is probably around maybe 100, 120 on the good days, and then on the bad days it's not so good at all. I might get 1 or 2 views, but that's fine too. I just have fun doing it. Very cool. So I live in a place called Missouri. I'm not sure if you guys, you may want to pull out your maps if you're, especially you, Baby Mercy. I live in Missouri, which is kind of in the middle of the United States. Well, it's not actually in the middle. It's kind of Middle Eastern, not Middle East like, Iran or Iraq or any of that, but Middle Eastern United States. And I live near a place called St. Louis. Some of you who are not geographically challenged might know what I mean, or where I'm at. But so like this time of day, so it's 2:57 p.m. here, and like there's a lot of, we have different time zones. So people on the East Coast right now that are watching, it's 3:57 p.m. for them. How you doing, William? St. Louis is kind of like Iraq. Yeah, I guess you're right, William. It is kind of like Iraq. It's really dangerous in St. Louis. Yeah, no kidding. I'll have to remember you said that. That's funny. So I go to St. Louis, but not very often. I don't like going to St. Louis at night. During the day, it's not so bad, because there's a lot of hustle and bustle in the city, and criminals don't do a lot of stuff during the day because they're usually asleep. Because all the criminalities that they take part in are usually at night. So I don't like going to St. Louis at night. During the day, not so bad. During the night, not so much. So it's not so either way, right? Anyway, but yeah, I live in Missouri. So I moved out here about 15 years ago, and knock on wood, I've been able to stay employed and keep a roof over my head, at least anyway. It's relatively inexpensive to live in the little what we call municipality where I live, and that's why I chose that area. But I noticed that a lot of the bigger chain stores, we lost to Walmart a few years back, and we've had businesses come in, but a lot of them are closing. A lot of the smaller businesses anyway. Let's see here. Let's see how I pronounce this. Shoel Prods. Dude, you're a cop. Get off your phone. Shut up. Cop. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna call the I'm not on my phone actually. I'm looking straight ahead. Okay, so there you go. How about that? This is my video. I'll do it if I want. Yeah, whatever. You gonna tell on me? Make my insurance rate go up? I don't care. Whatever. Ain't like I can't afford it. My car's got all kinds of safety features anyway. It lets me know if I'm riding too close to somebody. Yeah, right, Kyle. I hate a smart ass. You're a cop. See, first of all, like, you wouldn't call me dude. If you were a cop, you wouldn't call me dude. Number two, if you were a cop, you wouldn't tell me you were a cop. You'd be like, I'm an officer of the law, or I'm a state trooper, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. Here, I'll drink to that. That's right. There you go. Hey, dummy, I do this almost every day. Yeah. Nobody can tell if I'm on my phone anyway. I've got it on one of those things, you know, that hold your phone. It's hanging off the rear view mirror. I don't have to look at it to see what the hell's going on all the time. Yeah, dude, not professional. Exactly. Not professional at all. You tell him, Kyle. Get him. Well, my daughter hasn't shown up yet. Usually my daughter gets on here. But I don't see her on here. I haven't seen her comment yet. You're the dude. I am the dude. I appreciate that, William. Anyway, yeah, my daughter usually gets on here, and I haven't seen her today. She usually lights up in blue though, because she's my moderator. We get rid of a lot of the riffraff, like old Mr. I'm a cop dude. I don't, you know, if he had like a regular name that I could read, I would be more inclined to believe that he's an officer of the law. Memorex, that's what I'm. Memorex, that's what I'm. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. Okay. And he depends on grandma, you know, keep him fed and acting and what the fuck? Signals and shit. I lost my signal yesterday. I guess a lot of people had to go back and rewatch videos because yesterday I lost my signal about halfway home, and I just kept right on talking like I always do. You know, I don't really have any. That was rather rude. I'm sorry, folks. You're lugging pretty. Yeah, I know. I'm lagging pretty bad. It's the area I'm in. I go up and down a lot of hills on the way home. It's not like straight and flat like you would like it to be. No, you're okay. I appreciate that. I lost my signal yesterday. My daughter let me know. Then she was trying to text me, "Hey, Dad, you lost your signal," you know, stuff like that. But I never did get it back. But I know that the video came out pretty well. I do go back sometimes and watch my videos, you know, just to see how they came out and stuff like that. So the video from yesterday, there's a few places in it that aren't so good, but it doesn't drop out for long because regardless of whether I had a signal or not, it still recorded me anyway. Get over here in this lane. Yeah, cut across 2 lanes. We got to take an exit here in a minute. So what's everybody up to this week? Everybody working and making money and doing all the good things that we're supposed to do as responsible and productive members of society, or what? Yeah. Right hand turn, Clyde. So I was talking to some guys at work. We were talking about old movies the other day, and you know, I mean, you guys can probably tell I'm a little bit older than most of the people that are on, you know, YouTube doing videos. Like I said, I enjoy doing this because it's just a way for me to kind of waste time and keep my mind occupied. But so I was talking to some people about some movies, and it's amazing to me that, you know, the way the movie culture is these days. Like when I was a kid, man, going to the theater like on a Friday or Saturday night, you know, when your mom drops you off and gives you money for a ticket and you like your refreshments and shit and then leaves you there. It's like kids don't do that anymore. You know, they're all at home watching, you know, Netflix of all things, or, you know, Fubo or Tubi or Pluto or one of those other, you know, services. It's amazing to me. And there's days, you know, but they're not like the old movies that I used to watch. You know, a lot of them are really. We got a crash here or what? Somebody broke down. I can't tell. I went by them; they were all sitting still. I got in a little more accident a couple of days ago, so I'm off for a little bit. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Kyle. I hope it wasn't too bad on you. Luckily for me, I haven't crashed a car in quite a while. The last car crash I was in, I got rear-ended by a utility truck from Metropolitan St. Louis District Water. I was sitting still, dude. It was going 35 miles an hour and hit me. I don't think he even touched his brakes. I was sitting still. Luckily, I was the first car in the intersection, and when he hit me, it threw me back in the seat. My car lunged about, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 feet out into the middle of the intersection. And then he had the nerve to look surprised that, you know, I was sitting there. Like, dude, get off your phone and pay attention or something, you know. I don't know. He may have been stoned for all I know. But I was driving a 2020 Chevy Equinox at that time, which was a really nice car. This one's much nicer, of course, but I'm good. Nothing too serious. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I didn't really have any like bad injuries or anything. I strained my shoulder, and like when I saw the impact coming, I grabbed the steering wheel and kind of tightened up, which is like the worst thing you can do, you know. But I did it, and then one of my shoulders is a little messed up from it, and but the guy shoved the rear door about halfway into the car and bent my hood or my roof and the side panels over the tires on the back. I've never been hit that hard in my life, and I'm telling you, I've taken some pretty hard falls and shit, but nothing like that. And you'll never forget that sound, you know, that crunch sound. It's like a thud and a crunch, like back to back, and it's like one of the most ominous sounds you'll ever hear in your life. You know, unless of course you're around somebody that takes their fingernails across a freaking chalkboard or something. But yeah, that was a pretty bad experience. But I don't want to get too much in. Kyle, I'm glad you're okay, buddy. I really am. I was okay too. Emotionally, I was wrecked, man, because you know, you go out and you work hard, and you know, you pay a lot of money for these automobiles these days. It's not like the old days, you know, where you could, you know, get a 1969 Plymouth Valiant or something for a couple of, you know, a car that's a few years old, and, you know, grandma drives it back and forth to church every Sunday, but decides that she can't drive anymore, so she sells her 1969 Plymouth Valiant for like $300, you know, or something like that. There are no cars like that anymore around. If you run across a deal like that, then jump on it. I don't care how many miles the car has on it. If you can get a cheap car, you get a cheap car. And get something that doesn't require like emissions and safety and all that bullshit. And hopefully, you know, it's old enough now, they're probably grandfathered in a lot of places, but you know, all that emissions and safety and all that bullshit, that's just a money racket, the government money racket. You know, it has nothing to do with you know, the global warming or any of that bullshit. You know, that's just another way for the government to make money. You know, they're doing it all around the world. You know, a lot of places like California, for instance. You know, in California, you're not even allowed to own a gas-powered weed eater or lawnmower anymore, from what I understand. It's like it has to be battery powered, you know. Like, it's the craziest thing. How often, or how long is that battery going to last? You know what I mean? Before you have to charge it again. What is that, like a 40? I think it's like a 40-volt battery or something like that they use in those freaking lawnmowers. It's crazy. I put, you know, mine runs out of gas. I put gas in it in 2 minutes and I'm back to work. You know, it makes no sense. But California is the worst, man. It's, geez, I'd hate to live there. It's a nice place to be from, but I wouldn't want to live there. And actually, I'm not from there either. You know. Well, they've started all these emissions regulations and all that crap out there. It's like you can't drive a diesel truck in California anymore if it's like more than, I don't know, like 10 years old or something. It's really crazy. They've got all these junkyards now with all these big trucks on them out there, and it hasn't made anything any better. You know, California is like the dirtiest freaking state in the United States as far as emissions goes. You know, and it reflects in the people out there. You know what I mean? Those people out there, they're a little nuts. Most of them. Some of them aren't too bad, but most of them are pretty nuts. Anyway. Oh boy. So it's been a long day, folks. You know, working. I work 6 to 2:30. I like that early shift, you know, so I can get out at 2:30. There for a while, I was doing 10-hour shifts. From September of last year up until, I think, like March of this year, I was working 10-hour days. So I was doing like 56 hours a week because I'd work a half a day on Saturday. And I haven't worked a 10-hour shift in quite a while. I did work this past Saturday, though, but I only did 4 hours. I probably won't work this weekend, but then the following weekend I'll probably work 4 or 6 hours on Saturday. These guys out here in the road in a Bobcat, the landscapers, they're redoing one of my neighbor's driveways. I guess they're going to put pavement back in there, or concrete. Yeah, they're doing concrete this time. I think it was asphalt before. Asphalt doesn't last long, you know what I mean? You might have a 15-year life expectancy with an asphalt in your driveway, depending on your cars or whatever. Of course, I'm no expert on that, but mine's an asphalt driveway, and I've been in my house for 15 years now, and I've got cracks in my asphalt where it's just, you know, the ground settled and started to separate a little bit or whatever. But anyway. Well, cool. Well, you guys, I'm actually at home now, so I'm gonna drop out on you because my phone is gonna try and grab my Wi-Fi out of the house. It's gonna want to switch over from my tower, local tower. So Kyle, hey man, good to see you in there. Hey, stop by again sometime. And William, stop in sometime and see me. And this show, Hype Prods or whatever, I don't know. I can't even pronounce that shit. I don't know who you are. And Zohire, Bebe Mercy or something. And of course Kyle again. Yeah. That old Zohire, Bonjour from France. That guy was pretty cool. But yeah, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you again. Hey Kyle, good to see you. All right, peace, William. Take it easy. Oh, no problem. You can always usually catch me around this same time of day. Like I said, I work 6 to 2:30. If I work a little late, I usually, you know, the latest I'm going to work is till like 3:30 my time. I'm not sure what time it is where you're at, but yeah, stop in anytime. All right, y'all. Peace. Take it easy. We'll talk to you again some other time.